All right, we are live. Classic Mix-Up, episode 3. I'm Rosario. That's Riley
And I'm
drinking
Riley.
his water.
Yeah, what's up, guys? Welcome back.
Welcome back. How you doing?
Dude, I've been in the gym, been eating
Oh,
a
you've been in
lot.
the gym.
Dude, I
That's
did
cool.
chest today, and I was like, dude, I got actually like pecs now. What's going on?
Oh, that's
This is weird.
sweet. I've been doing a little boxing training. I got a boxing match coming up.
Ooh, what? Shut
Yeah,
the fuck up.
dude, that's a long
Through
story,
school?
but no, just no for
Friends?
it's a long kind of a long story, but
Oh,
there's
shit, dude.
literally boxing gloves in the corner of my room right now, and I've been shadow boxing. I shit you not, but that's a story for another time.
Okay, dude. Show me up then. No, that's awesome. Good for you, dude.
A lot of new
Yeah, no, I
music
mean,
came out too.
yeah, that I didn't listen to a lot of it, but
It's
that's
okay.
nice.
Riley kind of failed his homework assignment, but it's okay.
Listen, I still did good in high school. Okay,
Hey, you
I
know
didn't
what,
do
Riley?
good.
Three out of 5 is not bad, and I'm gonna cover you on the other 2 out of 5.
Yeah, no,
We're gonna do good here. We're gonna be fine.
yeah.
You have anything else to say before we kind of jump right into it?
I'm making a resurgence back into modern baseball and car seat headrest.
Oh, thanks for the announcement.
Yeah, um, it makes me want to like listening to Midwestern emo again. This has nothing to do with our topic this week either.
Yeah, this is on Riley's mind clearly.
I'm back into Midwestern emo. I haven't been into Midwestern emo since I don't know, freshman year of high school, sophomore year. I love it, dude. I'm back in. I'm singing about how like I have no friends and everything. I don't know. But I'm like, oh God, I need sustenance. I need to like go talk to my friends. I need to
Yeah, you need to
go
remind
see my
yourself that you're
girlfriend.
not
I that I'm not Midwestern emo, but I
depressed
love it. I
anymore.
love it. I love it. Anyway, I
Anyways, maybe
we'll get
that could
into
be a
that
future
later.
episode because I've been meaning to actually check out modern baseball and those bands like that.
You haven't never.
Never. I
Shut
told you that
up,
before we
dude.
started recording. I was like, I don't know shit about that, but it sounds cool. I see people talk about it, and I like being sad sometimes. So like,
I got
we'll
you.
put a pin in that.
Put it. Get a little.
For
Maybe we could get a little guests on here. Hey,
yeah,
that's a little even out of my league. I know some people that are
bring them in. Me too.
okay.
So
Maybe
we'll
one day.
talk about that. We'll talk about that after the show. But for today, our actual topic is we're talking about new music. Okay, a lot of new music came out. We're doing a little new music rundown. Okay, if you missed the end of episode 2, we kind of mentioned how we're deviating a little from our traditional theme of focusing on like 2 specific albums, and we're kind of doing a rundown on like maybe 5 or 6 albums, just like our quick thoughts on it, not really diving in deep, but just like saying what we thought about it and whether it was good or bad. Yeah. So I think we're gonna start with Soul Sold Separately, which is the newest Freddie Gibbs album. So
Oh, sweet, dude. I didn't know which one you're gonna start off with. This
yeah,
one?
that's yeah. I think we're gonna start off with
Disappointing.
this one. Yeah, I have to agree. So right off the bat, I'm just gonna say that this did not feel like a Freddie Gibbs album to me. So I like the whole time I was listening to it, I was just like, well, actually not the whole time because the first track is really solid. The first track's called "Couldn't
Mm-hmm.
It Be Done." That track's really good. After that,
Yep.
it goes straight downhill, and it's like I'm not sure if Freddie is trying to like have a mainstream appeal or something, or just trying to change his sound and step into a new realm. But like this is not something that I would expect from him. Like it's I don't know what do you have anything to say about it? Because
I
I was kind of
same.
shocked by how much I didn't like it.
Yeah, no, I was very like listen to it. 15 songs at 46 minutes. I'm like, okay, it's gonna be a good album, like solid.
Yeah,
Freddie
right.
Gibbs, and I looked at the features. I'm like, Offset, oh, okay, Moneybag Yo,
Right
sure,
off of that,
Rick
you kind of know what
Ross,
you're getting into. Like
Rick Ross.
that's a
I like
great
that's
point.
okay,
You look at that
but
feature
and
list and
then
you're like,
but also I listened to it because Anderson .Paak,
right,
Pusha T. I'm like,
Raekwon.
okay, I
Yep.
gotta even Scarface, like
Yeah,
that.
right.
Like I gotta. I got to listen to this a little bit. And I didn't make it to the end. Like I had to skip around. I had to like skip songs. I had
It
to listen to
does not
half a
hold your
song,
attention.
skip to the 30-second mark, like see if it gets better. I mean,
It's just an
was,
unfortunate reality.
but I think it sucks because like, what was his last album? Alfredo was his last
Alfredo,
album,
yeah, and that
but
was like
Alfredo
amazing.
was so good.
And yeah, so
This
like,
album just isn't that. It's not
right,
even
so
that we're comparing these two albums. It's like,
this just on its own kind of sucks. It's not even like so. Okay, so I'm not one to like critique an artist for like changing their sound or going in like a different lane, but like
yeah,
I think it's cool that he's trying something different because not that Freddie Gibbs is the most one dimensional rapper, but he has his lane. You know, he has his style, right? So I'm not one to
oh yeah,
critique him
he's
trying something new, but
yeah.
this just sounds like a cheap sellout trying to go for a mainstream appeal. Like it's like half trap beats. Okay, I think Alchemist maybe produced a couple of them. I don't know if there's any Madlib production on here, but basically the stuff that he's done before, he kind of cut out, went to trap beats, more basic sounding stuff, and just it just didn't work. I mean, I respect him, I guess, trying to go a different route, but it didn't work, and I was highly disappointed.
Yeah, I I don't know. It's like it's one of those things where it's still Freddie Gibbs, and you want a good Freddie Gibbs verse, you're gonna get it. Like he's one of the.
And he has great verses on this album, no doubt.
I think at every song you can kind of be like, okay, that's a good verse from Freddie, but every verse is like the same vibe. Like I feel like every verse
Yeah,
is like a moderate verse. Like it's a middle of the line Freddie Gibbs verse.
there's nothing really blowing me away here.
No, like I'm trying to even think of like songs from like Alfredo or the album before that being like
Bandana with
yeah,
Madlib.
Bandana. Like there was specific songs that like blew me away. They're like, oh
Right.
shit, like
Yeah.
Freddie
Like
Gibbs is like a
I can think of a
generational
bunch
rapper.
off the top of my head. Yeah. This didn't have that.
No, it really didn't. Maybe in the future, like I can see a couple songs maybe growing on me, like a
I
Pusha T
think it
song.
could. I think yeah. I think what is
I
it?
think that
Gold
Pusha song will
Rings with
be
Pusha T.
yeah.
That's one of my favorites. So I'll say my favorites are Couldn't Be Done, and I think it's called Gold Rings with Pusha T.
Mm.
Those are both really good. And then as far as like the features go, Offset was whatever. Like he did his thing, but it's just like not really what I'm looking for.
I
Moneybag
think
Yo and
Offset
Rick
6 years too
Ross.
late.
Yeah, right. That yeah, you're right. It's like I don't really want to hear that anymore. Maybe in 2017 it would have been.
With Freddie too, like I don't know. Like
Yeah, I mean
have they been on a song together before in the
I
past?
don't know off the top of my head. I don't think so,
I
but
just was a weird thing. I don't know.
it was
Even
weird. But
Moneybag Yo, like
we had the classic collabs like Anderson .Paak and Pusha T, and those delivered. Those came through. There were still good songs on this album. I just would say that as a whole, this would go at the bottom of Freddie Gibbs' discography for me, from what I've heard.
hmm. I don't know. I didn't finish it. Like I really couldn't finish it like 100%
And I
all
mean
the way
that
through.
tells you all you need to know. I mean, if you can't finish it, it's.
I may not be the target audience though, Rosario. I hate to break it to you. I may be a
I
music
mean,
nerd, but
I don't think I'm the target audience for like 95% of the music I listen to, and I still like it. So
that's true. That's true.
I mean, you know
But
what I
Freddie
listen to.
Gibbs, he will be a rap snitch, man. Rest in peace, Doom. But
Yeah, rest in
he's a
peace,
rap
Doom. He
snitch.
was yeah. If Doom would have known Freddie Gibbs, I think they would have had beef.
Yeah. Well, I
Because
mean, you know, like the rap snitch
of course,
finishes or.
that's Freddie Gibbs. He is
I mean,
Freddie
every
Gibbs is a
verse he's
rap
talking
snitch.
about how he's fucking sold crack. Like I'm like,
Yeah,
dude, it's a traditional. I think that's what I wanted to say during the traditional Freddie Gibbs verse is that every other verse is about him selling crack, and I'm like, dude,
yeah.
you've been rapping about how he's been selling crack for
Him and Pusha T,
ever.
man, they can't get past it. They gotta
But
let you know.
Push is like,
Well,
oh, I love Push.
Push is better. I'll start by saying that, but that's a different
Push is
topic.
Push is like a fire, dude. He's
Very good. Now, if you want to talk about a really good 2022 album that followed up on their old work well, It's Almost Dry by Pusha T. 100% check it out.
I haven't listened to it. I haven't listened to it still.
Oh, for real?
I haven't listened to it. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you got to listen to that.
I'll put a pin in it. I know it came out.
I won't spoil
so
anything.
Many
from
albums
it for
came
you.
out this year.
Yeah, it's been a good year, but Yeah, as far as the Soul Sold Separately goes, like I would love to hear other people's opinion on it because like I mean, we've said about everything we need to say. It just didn't fit my expectations, and I'm sure there's a lot of people who kind of enjoy the style that he went with. I would say, but
Yeah.
it does not sound like a Freddie Gibbs album to me, and it did not really have too many memorable moments for me, except for a few songs and Push's verse. So
Yeah, I was surprised. I was just surprised at the sound that came out of this album. Like,
I was surprised as well.
I don't know, man. It's just like it just doesn't. It don't. I don't know. Maybe it's
It could just be us.
in a month. It might be better. Who
and
knows?
I will say that I did not have time to listen to most of these albums twice. I listened to a couple of them 2 or 3 times, but this one I only listened to once, and Intergalactic I only listened to once, which we're about to get to.
Yeah.
Those were probably the two I liked the least. So there's room for growth for them. There are, but
Yeah. Overall, not putting numerical value on this album.
Yeah,
I would say it's a moderate to okay, good album, but it's just not Freddie. It's not Freddie Gibbs like at his best.
It's not what you'd be expecting, I guess, if you're a Freddie Gibbs fan, which I'm not like a super fan, but I would consider myself a Freddie Gibbs fan, and this is not what I wanted. So
no, it's kind of like a good comparison would be like KOD for
J. Cole.
J. Cole.
Yeah.
Because KOD that album. But
right.
It's just
but in terms of his old work, it doesn't stack up.
Eyes only. It's not for your eyes only.
Right. And I hate the fact that we have to compare artists' new stuff to their old stuff, but it's just it's the way of life. It's just how it is. I mean,
yeah. I mean, it's also. I mean, again, Soul Sold Separately might grow on me.
Of course, I'm not writing it off yet.
But touch back on it in a month, I might be like, oh, dude, I'll listen to Soul Sold Separately. Like that Push D song. It's on my playlist all the time.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I would love to hear other people's opinion on it. Maybe we go back to it. Maybe we get swayed. I mean, might talk about it again in the future, but yeah.
Freddie Gibbs Day. We gotta have a Freddie Gibbs Day.
We can definitely. I can talk about Pinata and Bandana and Alfredo, 100%.
I love Alfredo so much.
Yeah, dude. Alchemist is dude. So listen, here's the conclusion I'm drawing from this Soul Sold Separately versus his old work is that like Freddie might need to get carried by a producer because you have Pinata and Bandana. You have Pinata and Bandana, which are produced by Madlib, who's pretty much the greatest of all time, if you ask me. And then you have 1985 produced by Alchemist, which is the greatest right now, if you ask me. Those are all amazing albums, but I don't know if he's shown that he can do it without that elite producer. You know what I mean?
Well, I don't think it's that it's without the elite producer. I think it's that the continuity of the album.
Yeah, kind of like what we talked about last week with working with the same producer makes your album so much better. Exactly. And I think he might need that. So yeah. Anything else you have to add before we move on? Or
I don't know.
There was
no quirky. There was also I did want to bring one thing. Like,
yeah, go ahead.
I love Freddie Gibbs for like in some what is it? I literally just saw the song and then I drew a blank at the song I wanted to bring up. But Something to Rap About is like probably my favorite Freddie Gibbs song. I mean, it's one of his most popular songs.
Right, it's a great song.
And just the beginning of that song is like Freddie Gibbs, like the random shit that he's talking about. Like I didn't feel like there was enough like Freddie Gibbs was like, yeah, he's a snitch, like he snitches on himself, like that's what he raps about.
Right.
There's no like confidence from this guy. Like, there's no like goofiness. There's no like. There's no like overbearingly like whatever, fuck it, stuff. It's very like cut and dry verse, song, verse, song, verse.
It's the first thing I said when we started talking about the album. Is the first thing I have written down, and the first thing I said out loud is, "This is not Freddie Gibbs. It's a deviation from his style." And we're going to talk later about a deviation from an artist style that I do like. This is a deviation from an artist style that I do not like. So
right,
but I recommend you try it for yourself. It might just not be for us.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, dude, I'm sure if you're working out or driving, this album would be good. Like if you're hanging with the buddies,
but it just not gonna hit like the party. Other.
But something for Freddie Gibbs, like it just.
I think a big part of it is just the comparison part of it, because like we
Yeah,
said,
it
Freddie's
could
kind of
do
a
it.
modern legend with like the last 3 that he did, or at least people consider him to be that. So
Yeah.
when you come out with this, it's like it's disappointing.
Yeah, no. It's all right. It's
Yeah,
it's Freddie Gibbs, but I don't know. I don't know.
we wanted better, Freddie. We wanted better.
Love you, Freddie, but man.
Yeah. Anyways,
Yeah.
do we want to stick with the theme of disappointing and move on to the Kid Cudi album?
Oh yeah, I didn't hate it.
I didn't hate it either, but it's very like. All right. Let me preface by saying that I listened to it. I listened to this album very early in the morning.
Oh,
I
okay.
didn't have time to re-listen to it, but I really wasn't feeling this one. I didn't really write much stuff down about it. It just felt very like, I don't know. It kind of just like exists. There's nothing really about it that I can pick out and talk about. Like it was very, I don't know. It was very kind of like it. Okay, so comparing, I know we're doing it again, but like comparing it to like the Man on the Moon trilogy is like that album has like character and memorable moments and replayable songs, where this album just felt kind of devoid of any like personality, structure, any really articulate thoughts. Just it didn't bring anything to the table with me for me. And I'm not saying it was a terrible album, but it just again didn't really do anything for me.
Yeah. I didn't hate this.
I also didn't hate it,
I
even though I'm talking very
I
negatively about it.
I like thinking of this album as what it is intended to be, like is to like go along with the movie. Like I know you haven't watched the
I
movie.
have not seen the movie.
I haven't watched it either. But I liked that Kid Cudi isn't doing the same thing as he was on like Man on the Moon 1 or 2. Like I was brought up before the podcast.
Right.
Like this is definitely new Kid Cudi.
Which some people really hate, by the way. I don't
Right.
necessarily
Yeah.
hate, but
No, like you have to understand that artists are gonna like evolve, and
they're gonna,
and
yeah,
new
right.
audiences will find them, and or they make music that really speaks to themselves or whatever. Like that's
For
just
sure.
art. But I like that Kid Cudi's embracing himself as an artist, as a writer and director of this animated
Yeah, that's
film,
cool.
Galactic. It's animated. I brought it to you that it was animated by the same animation studio that did this Into the Spider-Verse animated
Which
Spider-Man
is an
movie.
awesome movie.
Awesome style, awesome, and it's great because it's more of a mature story. I guess it's about like love and all this kind of stuff. And I could see how like this album goes along with the show. Like
Okay.
Intergalactic is the same. It's the same title. It's a movie, I think.
Okay.
But I don't hate this album. I mean nothing really stands out right now.
Right.
But
That's the thing.
it flowed really good together. It's new Kid Cudi. It's very like the production's really good. Like I don't know if you listen to it like good headphones on, but like
I
the
use my
way that
AirPods, but that's what I
the
listen to,
way it
like
like
all
moves
music.
through your head is really nice. Like
That's
I
cool.
mean I've seen a lot of memes of like the people when they're like, oh, that when that first synth wave hits in the new Kid Cudi album, they start like flying and like spinning around and stuff. And I'm like, oh, that's true. Like,
I feel you.
but the features make sense on this album too.
Yeah, it's
Because like it doesn't
what is it?
really have
Ty Dolla
anybody that's
Sign
like
Twice
Two
and
Chains and
Dot
Don
the
Toliver.
Genius.
Don Toliver,
Oh
Dot
yeah,
the
Don
Genius, Steve
Toliver, Dot the
Aoki.
Genius. Yeah.
So
They do make sense for
it's
Cudi. Yeah.
but it makes sense for this album because you're not having anybody explosive on this album. You're not.
Because
It's
it's
a
like more, it's
vibe
more
album.
relaxed album. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a soul based. It's very like spiritual.
Yeah.
And Kid Cudi has always been that like spiritual guy, trying to figure
True.
out his emotions and
He's
all that.
sticking to his roots with that. So yeah,
Yeah.
like one thing I noticed though about like your description of the album is you just keep saying like, oh, I don't hate it, but you're not really saying like that many things that are positive about it. So I'm kind of with you to where it's like I said, I listened to it. I wouldn't say I enjoyed it, but I also didn't dislike it. I'm just left
Yeah.
feeling kind of like maybe it's I didn't watch the movie, but I'm left feeling kind of like I don't know when or if I will ever feel the need to revisit or re-listen to this album. It didn't really leave me with anything. I don't really have much to say about it. I'll say I really liked the song Maybe So. And I really liked the song She's Looking for Me. I think that was really well produced.
Yeah.
the last track, the bonus track, Don Toliver and Dr. Genius were great contributions, and I am usually a Ty Dolla $ign hater, but he had a pretty good contribution on this album. So those were the positives.
Basic Ty Dillerson verses.
Yeah, those were the pros. Cons were.
Sorry to cut you off.
No, keep going with the pros.
I liked the solo. I liked the solo Don Toliver song as well. Somewhere to Fly.
Oh yeah, that was cool.
It was good.
I was a little surprised that was on there, but
yeah, I think that Don Toliver fits in this album really well. Like,
he does.
I usually don't like Don Toliver. I'm not a big
I'm not a huge fan either, but he's a good collaborator for Kid Cudi and Travis Scott. He always does good with them.
Well, they all use the same.
I know, same type of auto-tune. That
over auto-tuned
Dude, he's great with Travis. But he does feel well. Okay, I'll say this. If we're talking about the pros, it's a well-curated album. Like you said, it flows well. The features are in the right place. You know, I enjoy the intro and outro. Stuff like that is cool. Like, it's a cool album.
It's just in terms of for a movie.
Right, yeah. So in terms of just listening substance, in terms of just listening to it for fun or for enjoyment, I didn't really get much out of it, and I don't see myself really going back to it. But I also think there's some grower songs on this album, and I think if I listen to it in a different environment, perhaps I could like it more. So, yeah, that's about all I have to say for that one.
It's a movie soundtrack, but it's not a bad movie soundtrack.
No, it's not at all.
You can't look at it like it's Man on the Moon 4.
No, because it's not. It's not at all. It's something totally different, which is fine. But
I think it was good as for what it was.
What it was. Yep, that's what I was getting at. Is for a movie soundtrack, it was cool. For a new Kid Cudi album, it was, like I said, kind of pointless. But in the context of the movie, I'm sure it's pretty good.
Yeah.
I would give it a listen, I guess, because I've seen a lot of people absolutely loving this album.
Yeah. So. I mean, I think for if you're just listening and having fun to it, it's a great album for just vibing out.
Yeah.
Perhaps. If you're chilling with your friends and you want a good album to put on or just sit and listen to and be like, man, let's listen to this album. It's a good album to listen to, or watch the movie. Mm-hmm. It's a fun movie.
I actually kind of want to watch the movie.
It's on my list. It's I might watch it with my family this weekend. Who knows? I don't know.
Let's start a movie podcast.
Dude, don't even get me started.
No, I've only seen 20 movies in my life. I don't watch it.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Napoleon Dynamite.
Which is so funny because my teachers would call me Napoleon Dynamite.
Yeah, I see it.
You're like, oh, I love it.
I do love it. It's a great movie. If you haven't seen Napoleon Dynamite,
I want to be Uncle Rico when I'm old. He's like, I can throw this.
I can throw the pigskin a quarter mile.
So you see that mountain over there? I can throw it over there.
Yeah.
You fat lord.
I could quote Napoleon for the next 2 hours, but
don't.
I'll try to stay on top. I'm not. We're gonna try to stay on topic here. But.
Speaking of staying on topic, you want to move on to the Boldy album?
Yeah. I'll let you take it away because I know you have been dying to talk about it.
So the Boldy James album, Boldy James, we've talked about him a little bit on this
shout
podcast,
out Detroit.
But he's a Detroit rapper. He's part of Griselda, which is the collective of it's Benny,
West Side Gun,
Butcher, West Side Gun. Yep.
Rome Streets, Makami, I think maybe Stove God Cooks. I don't know. It's a record label.
So it's a lot of
members.
Yeah. But they're all kind of underground rappers, but now they're kind of becoming more popular, which is awesome because you need new sound and rap and rock.
And they're bringing it, which is cool.
You need new sound, and these guys are hungry. These guys all these guys in Griselda have been making albums for 10 plus years. They're not new to rap.
Right, they're veterans, but they're surfacing.
Yeah. So this Boldy James album was called Fair Exchange, No Robbery.
Yep.
It's 10 songs, runs 36 minutes. Produced by Nicholas Craven. I'm guessing every song is right?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, so I never heard of Nicholas Craven as a producer.
Yeah, I've checked out some of his work before. He does a lot of work with Makami and the God Fahim, and he does a lot of work with Your Old Droog. He's super underground, but he's a pretty talented producer.
I mean, but he is exactly what Griselda is in production wise.
Yeah, he totally
Benny the
represents
Butcher
the
song.
same. Yeah,
He's a cut and dry Benny the Butcher producer, Boldy James producer, West Side Gun producer.
Because he loves to use the soul sample. I mean, he loves sampling. That's like his thing. Yeah.
I love how they can do such like soft sounds and then just
it's
the horriblest shit on top. The fucking hardest,
it's the contrast,
most horrible statements on the fucking like.
Yeah.
But it's the
sample. The beat is like a children's choir, and then the lyrics are like
my cousin got popped yesterday.
Yeah,
I can't even. I can't even.
That.
I'm too white to be saying it.
I should read some excerpts because it is some crazy shit as always, but it is awesome. It is so sick.
I mean, getting into it though, like it doesn't have a bad song on it. Like I listened to it. I did the drive from downtown to Detroit to Ypsilanti.
Oh, it's a perfect time to listen to it.
40-minute drive.
Yeah, perfect.
I ended the album right when I got in the parking lot back at school.
Yeah, and you started in Boldy James' hometown.
Literally, like,
that's awesome.
Looking around at a sign, it's like,
yeah, dude, he's like,
grass lot, burnt down storefront. I'm like, this is perfect. And
Boldy James is like in your ear. It's like I swerve on McNichols, and you look up at the street sign. It's like McNichols is right there.
McNichols. I was driving on Warren, but that kind of goes through Midtown.
Dude, he says Warren. He said what
yeah.
He say, like, I mean, I forget the lyrics. Something about like 6 Mile to Warren or some shit. It's cool. It's cool for us because like that's like our town. So to hear it rapped about is cool. I have to say.
Well, it's like I've driven on all those roads before. Like I drove on Warren to like get around downtown.
In his other album, with The Alchemist, he was saying some shit about like God, what was it? Not Madison Heights. I don't know. He mentioned some town that like no one would know, but except for like people from around here. And I'm like, that's cool. I don't remember what it was.
I don't know, dude. I couldn't tell you, but they're always dropping random names. But like, it's funny because like I feel like Detroit is, even though we have like Eminem and like stuff like that, like the city itself doesn't get recognized in rap enough. Like,
no, it's not like a New York or an LA at all.
No, because they're like back in Brooklyn or up, in fucking, I don't even know, Long Beach or whatever. Like, you don't like, man, even Detroit rappers, like you can't even say really rap about like stuff like that you would know by name. Where like I feel like Boldy does that well, being like,
he does.
Man, I grew up in the real hood, like 6 Mile. Like if you lived even outside of the city, like you know that if you're driving south of 6 Mile, you don't want to drive that. Like you don't want to be down.
You got to be careful what streets you turn down when you get down there.
You don't want to be south of 8 Mile. Real estate.
Right.
Like, growing up in the burbs, like we both did. Like you don't drive past 8 Mile, but like hearing it from dudes that grew up in there. There, and like you're just like shit, dude. Like you only heard it's like hearing about stories and stuff. You're like, damn, like that's crazy.
And he's such a great storyteller.
Oh yeah, no, it's so fucking good. Like Boldy James,
it's real, man. It's
rapping is perfect for the setting where he grew up, where he is now in life too. Like I love,
dude. He represents us so well. I love him so much. Yeah. Him and Babytron, dude, vastly different, but they both represent us.
Well, but Babytron does the same shit I was about to bring up.
Oh, Babytron name drops the shit out of our area, and that's why I love him.
And he's always coming back to Detroit. He's always in Detroit. Even if he'll be in like California, he'll post on Instagram, he's like, I'm in Long Beach, and then he'll record a video and then fly back home.
Right back to Detroit.
Like, dude, he's living
the Prince of the Mitten, man.
Oh, it's crazy.
That's 2 weeks in a row I brought up Babytron now. I should probably
He'll be an every week thing. He'll be an every week.
That's my man, bro.
Whoa, that is your man. We got to see him. So when you come back,
dude. So he's doing so Babytron's doing a list. So Babytron has a new album coming out, Bin Reaper 3. He's doing a listening party in Detroit. It's like $25. I wish I was in anywhere close to Detroit right now. Unfortunately, I'm not because I had to move away and go to college, or else I would be there. But
yeah. Well, isn't it? When is the album dropping?
End of October. I don't know the exact day, but
that was going to drop this time.
Dude, I want to drive. I want to drive home, man. But I don't know. We should get back to topic.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So I'll say that.
Yeah.
We both love Boldy James. We made that clear.
Yeah.
So what he's done in the past is he's done, I want to say 2 or 3 collab projects with The Alchemist. And I think 3 with a producer called Real Bad Man, which he dropped a project with earlier this year called Killing Nothing. And I was really happy to see him working with a new producer because Craven kind of brought a little new thing to the table. His beats don't sound exactly like what Boldy's rapped on before. There's a little bit
better though. I think way better.
You think better?
I mean,
yeah.
honestly.
I wouldn't say anything's really better or worse. I'd just say different because Craven brings a lot of like we talked about the soul samples and a lot of the softer sounding stuff, where Alchemist is a little Alchemist does that too, but he's a little harder on the drums, a little more sharp. But yeah, I thought this album was impressive as Boldy always is, and I thought the production was a really cool change of pace. I always say the soul sample loop is the way to my heart. So, and this had a lot of soul sample loops. So, yeah, I would say my favorite beats were Scrabble and Power Nap, which were the singles, as well as You Ain't No Menace. That one was really cool. Super like dark, but also like kind of like choir singing. It was awesome. And my favorite song was Power Nap, which was the single for this album, but it is just so good. Like it's one of my favorite Boldy songs. It's a good song. Yeah. Not your favorite?
No, it's good. I'm just skipping through the album as you're talking about the songs, and I'm like,
yeah.
But one of the songs that surprised me was the song that's dead in the middle is O Tree 9.
Yeah, that one was.
Yeah.
I'll say I didn't like that one at all on first listen. On second listen, I was really fucking with that one.
Like I'm just like, like
yeah, it's like gross. It's like grimy. It's really good.
It's his only features, right, on that.
Yeah, Guwap, who I don't think I heard of.
Never heard of
before.
Never heard of.
Yeah, he did his thing though.
Yeah. No, but like it was awesome. What was the line that I sent you? It's like stepping on a welcome mat.
Remember.
Straight from I don't know, dude. I'll pull it.
Dude, there's so many good bars, man. I'd have to pull some up if we wanted to go into that, but that'd be just it's packed full. I mean, if you've never listened to Boldy James, he has amazing one-liners, super clever bars, interesting and unique flow and delivery, which sets him apart, I think, from other rappers, is his delivery. It reminds me of like an Earl Sweatshirt type. It's like kind of mundane, but it also makes it hit harder, I think. So
yeah. No, he said it's like a harder Earl Sweatshirt, but you can understand what he's saying.
Yeah, you can definitely understand what he's saying. He enunciates it for sure.
Well, like what I love too is like you have the little snippets. Like I think we talked about this with the Joey Badass and like I don't know.
Yeah, last week.
Or like with Midnight Marauders and all that. But I love like when snippets before and after a song do the song justice. And
there was
a lot of the songs that have little snippets before.
Yeah, little skits and stuff like that.
100% convey the story that he's trying to tell, or like the attitude. Like there's the one when he's like it's the phone call.
Yeah, there's a few phone calls, I think.
I'll explain. I don't know. I think it's in Town and Country maybe, but he's like,
well, no, go ahead.
Like, I'm just chilling in the car with some people from Canada, and we're smoking weed. He's like, I got $700 shoes on. Then he's like said something, I don't know, and it's just like, but that attitude of being like, he's like, yeah, he's back in, hanging in wherever, Buffalo or Detroit, wherever he's hanging out with.
Yeah, Canada. I think this album was recorded in Canada.
Oh, see.
So so Nicholas Craven is from Montreal. Shout out Canada. This album was recorded there.
So that's what he's people from Montreal, but like it was just like it's good to know that like even the topics in this album are like rough and gritty as like usual for a Boldy James album, but just to know that he's doing good, like that he's on the up. Because I mean, this is a rapper that we both have followed and we like
for a while now
to do good, and he is on the up, and he's talking about in the songs that he's like, man, he's like, I feel the same way that I did yesterday, but I'm like up. I got $700 J's on, and I don't have to worry about it.
What's his monthly listeners? I'm gonna check that.
I don't know.
633,000. He's getting up there. Still relatively unknown, but he's getting up there. So.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite song from this album?
Shit.
I know there's a lot.
Currently, O Tree 9.
Yeah, that's a good. I think that's my favorite.
It just hits hard and it's catchy.
It does hit hard. I love the back and forth. Again, I have no idea who this goo-wop guy is, but he went back and forth well with Boldy. You might have to check him out.
Yeah. But any song could be my favorite song. Honestly, it's
Yeah.
all the
They were-
classic.
they were-
I
they
think
were
it's kind of like the same. It's kind of the same for like the Freddie Gibbs album, but in the better way instead of the
Right.
weak way.
Yeah, so
Like,
it's instead of every song blending together and being non-memorable, every song blends together
And you
because
could
they're all
play it
so
and jam
good.
and fucking go.
It's a good one to play all the way through, dude. It's
This
only
is when you
36
catch
minutes,
me
and yeah,
cruising down the highway like with this
right.
album.
Next time next time I'm driving in Detroit, hell yeah.
Yeah, dude, this is the album to play. It's really good. Like
Yeah.
it's definitely gonna be, as time goes on. It's probably they're all gonna get saved on the playlist and stuff like that for me. Like,
For sure.
This is it. Where like the Freddie Gibbs might not. It might just
Right.
be like another Freddie Gibbs album, but I think this might be his album that he kind of blows up a little bit more.
I hope so. I don't know. I'm
good
assuming. I think he's gonna get like his Griselda major. So he's had a couple albums released under Griselda, but it was before they were kind of popping off. So like Rome Streets just got his Griselda debut, which we're gonna talk about. I think Boldy James is like not debut because he already had a couple, but I think his next album is gonna be like a big Griselda release with promotion, more tracks, more features. Like I think his time is coming. Rome Streets just got his. I think him and Stove God Cooks. I think they're coming. So
yeah,
sweet, yeah. So that's Fair Exchange No Robbery by Boldy James and Nick Craven. I recommend you check it out.
Oh yeah, this is a big recommendation.
Yeah. So you didn't listen to the Billy Woods album, did you? Billy Woods dropped a new album.
I did not.
Yeah,
but
I listened to it once. I thought it was cool. I'll just say I didn't write much about it because. Okay, so it's called Church by Billy Woods. If you don't know Billy Woods, he's underground / experimental rapper from New York. He's really cool. This was not one of his better projects, but if you're a Billy Woods fan, if you haven't heard it, I highly recommend it. It sounds similar to his other albums. Really good, interesting bars, which is what he's kind of known for. Good production. I really liked the songs Puerto Rico and Fever Grass. And it's probably worth a listen. Short little album. It's pretty good.
Sweet.
What else dropped on Friday? We have we can talk about Rome Street's album real quick. I know you didn't listen to it all, but we just mentioned Rome Street's, so we can go there next.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so I mentioned that Rome Street's dropped his Griselda debut, Kiss the Ring, executive produced by West Side Gun. I'll just say that I could not recommend this album more to anybody who is into underground rap or wants to get into it or knows nothing about it and wants to see what it's all about. Like this album hit everything for me. It started off a little slow, but basically from track 6 all the way down to the end, it is like slapper after slapper. You have the West Side Gun curation. You have like the Fly God tags and the Griselda tags all over it, which I love. You have West Side Gun feature, Stove God Cooks and Benny the Butcher feature, Armani Caesar feature, which she did a fantastic job. Shout out to her. And Boldy James feature, who absolutely killed it. Did you listen to the song Boldy James?
I did. That was like the one of the few songs I listened to.
That song was insane. So yeah, I think this album, like I said,
West Side Gun song. Was it a full West Side Gun verse on? No,
yeah, it was shorter, but it was a verse. Yeah.
I mean, it's West Side Gun, so it's not really a verse,
so it's gonna be good.
Whatever.
Yeah, the production was cool. There was some like dark and scary, like Destiny's Child was like a dark, it's scary, like Halloween type sounding beat. And then you have a song like 1,000 Ecstasy, which had the slower piano beat going for it. And then Reversible, a lot produced by what's his name? Is it the guy whose producer tag is Conductor We Have a Problem? It's Conductor something. I don't know. I'm blanking on the guy's name. But
yeah, I don't know.
He did a lot of the work on this. He does a lot for Makami and West Side Gun. I really can't remember the guy's name, but his tag is the Conductor We Have a Problem. but he produced a song called Reversible and a lot of the other songs. And that song had a beat switch in it, which was dope because you don't see that for Griselda a lot. So this album, it's kind of on the longer side for Griselda, running at 50 minutes, but it had a lot of different stuff in it. It had a love song with Armani Caesar. You had a Griselda love song, and you had a storytelling song with Long Story Short, and then you had just some classic great songs, great verse by West Side Gun, and an even better verse by Boldy James. Yeah, I just couldn't recommend this album.
Boldy James, I think it's time. I think this album proves that Boldy James features are like platinum level.
He's so good at features, dude.
Like, well, we talked about that one song that was like a folk beach rock
indie ring
shit.
That song is so hard.
And that Boldy verse is a minute long, and it is awesome.
Yeah.
And it's random.
Yeah, but he has so many good features.
I just think he's a good feature. Like, he just never has, his flow goes good on every song.
Have you heard Claiborne Kick by West Side Gun? It's on Pray for Paris.
Yeah.
His verse is so good in that. I'm trying to think what else off the top of my head. It's hard off the top of your head to think of features, but
I mean, that's just like for the people to listen to.
Yeah, right. His feature on Hitler Wears Hermes Part B, I forget what the song is called that he's featured on, but it's just him and West Side Gun. He has another amazing verse. But yeah. Kiss the Ring by Rome Streets. Really cool underground album.
So sorry to cut you off, but
yeah, no, go ahead.
He shows up on Detroit too. Big Sean's.
Yeah. He's in the Friday Night Cypher on Big Sean's album.
And that's how I knew, like, when we first started talking about Boldy, I'm like, yeah, I know Boldy James. He's on
that Big Sean song.
That Cypher is okay. I didn't like Detroit too. I'm
not really a Big Sean fan, but okay, that's the problem with Detroit rap is people think of Eminem and then Big Sean, and they're
Big
like
Sean and T Grizzly.
Yeah, but you gotta Danny Brown, Boldy James.
People don't even know Danny Brown's from Detroit.
Danny Brown is from Detroit. People get educated.
I have a Danny Brown sticker on my fucking record player.
Danny Brown is sick as fuck, dude. I love Atrocity Exhibition.
Yes. I was playing this. I would play this stuff in high school, and I'd be like with a bunch of friends in a car. I'm like, listen to Danny Brown, and they'd be like, "What the fuck is this?"
It's not. Let's say.
How do you describe rap? It's scary rap.
You don't play it around the hose, but it's good.
No, shit. I think what's awesome about Danny Brown though is that he's older guy. He's an older guy. He's like
he's been in it for a while too. He's been in the game for a while.
He said he's like listen, he's like, I'm not gonna make stuff anymore that is gonna cause me to like have to mosh pit, and like you're not gonna hear some scary ass beat and me.
Yeah, I think I follow him on Twitter, and he tweets a lot,
funny.
and he says stuff like that. Yeah,
he's in Houston. I think he lives in Austin now, Austin, Texas. He's like, I live here now. Oh, When It Rain. I don't know if you know.
Is that by Danny Brown or?
Yeah.
I probably do, but I can't think of it.
Yeah, there's like a really distorted piano, and I was playing When It Rain, and I was in a car full of friends.
Yeah.
And they're like, why do you listen to this? Like, why is this
you gotta understand.
It just is, dude. It's good.
Yeah. I love Get High off that album.
Oh yeah.
Featuring Be Real.
Lost.
That song's awesome. There's so many good songs. I mean, we could go down the list, but
Lost has some of my favorite verses. He's like,
yeah,
I'm like Kubrick with 2 bricks.
Classic.
Like, so good. But anyway, that's a little tangent about rap and Danny Brown.
But we got a good Detroit episode for the people today.
Yeah, but I mean, Big Sean's just not a very good. That's
what we were talking about.
Big Sean. Okay, we're gonna reel back to Big Sean because
he's got some good songs
about Detroit too. So Boldy was my introduction to a lot of Detroit rappers that were smaller that you don't really hear about. I mean, like Baby Tron wasn't on it, right? He wasn't on the Cypher yet.
No.
But he's technically not Detroit, which is weird because he reps Detroit. He just lives out. He's from.
That's because no one knows what the hell Ypsilanti is. I mean, I know you live there, but like other than that, like no one like people in.
It's the little brother of Ann Arbor. What do you mean?
Right, but people don't even know what Ann Arbor is. It wasn't for U of M, so
yeah, exactly. But he's from there. So anyway, so Detroit 2 disappointing to me, but the one of the songs that I saved from that album was that cipher, and it has so many rappers that are so good. I
Yeah,
got it turned on. So
Royce
they're
is on
Detroit
it.
rappers. Yeah, but Royce the 5'9" is always on Eminem stuff.
Yeah, right. But he's good. He's
So
pretty
like,
good. He used to be pretty
yeah,
good. I don't know what he's doing now.
if
But
Steve was still good on that cipher 2 years ago.
right.
But Big Sean's good for the city. He invests a lot in it, or like at least
That's true,
socially.
yeah.
He's always putting money into stuff. Like he funds a lot of the Pistons, the Detroit Pistons stuff. Like his like his like brand Don Life is on all of their jerseys, practice jerseys.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So yeah, I mean, yeah, Detroit rap. But
Detroit
there's
rap.
so many Detroit rappers that are. I mean, I've shown you that are like that one guy. What's his name, dude? Did you ever listen to him?
What guy?
Oh, do you guys
Probably not. I'll be honest. You know what I did listen to? We're going all over the place. I listened to that Palace album, So Long Forever.
Oh.
It's really good. Like really good. You hit on that one, man.
Dude, that album is so powerful, and they're British.
Oh, they're British. I wish you didn't tell me that.
They're British.
Oh man, now I can't listen to it anymore. No, I'm kidding.
No, that album. We'll talk about that after we're done with all this rap talk.
We are all over the place this episode.
It's fine. I mean, like basically, are we done? Are we done with the albums and stuff?
I mean, pretty much. Oh, Kenny Mason dropped, and I love him, so I'll say a piece about that if you don't mind. But
go ahead. I thought it was okay album. I didn't hate it.
Yeah, well, we talked about how it's not for everybody, so I'll just well, I guess first off, if you don't know, Kenny Mason, upcoming rapper from Atlanta, he is super dope. I love what he's been doing for the past 2 years. He actually dropped one of, if not my favorite albums of the year last year in 2021, and in 2020 he had another amazing album. He dropped a new mixtape this year called Roughs, and it is different, to say the least. You mentioned earlier, before the podcast recording, you said it was like singy, is what you said, I think. And you said like, oh, yeah, you want like rapping, which, yeah. So what Kenny Mason, right. So what Kenny tends to do is he's very artistic, very musical, amazingly talented rapper, but also dabbles a lot in rock stuff, a lot of rock instrumentals and just straight up rock songs. He does a lot of singing, and he kind of does a little bit of genre bending and stuff like that. And this new mixtape, Roughs, was actually like a clear deviation from his normal sound. He's shown shades of this side of his music. Like, you know, in his 2021 album, Angelic Hood Rat Supercut, he had songs like Pup and Play Ball that were like super rock and roll based, kind of had the heavy guitar riffs and the drums and stuff. But on this album, he like really leaned into it. So I don't know if a lot of people are going to mess with this album unless you're a big Kenny Mason fan or you can appreciate that lane that he's stepping into. And I know you said that you didn't love it, so I don't know. It's not going to hit for everybody.
Right. I mean, it's definitely an album that I have to re-listen to. Like, it's so just
not every song though is super like, I don't know what the word is, but like, for example, like Dip was a single. It's super catchy. It's been stuck in my head a lot ever since it was a single. Might be my favorite song on the album. And then you have Slip and Flip with Nudie. Young Nudie had a super fun part on that song. That's like a pretty basic sounding cool song. And then like Shell, West Side, Double Up, like those are all amazing songs. And then there were also songs like Nosedive, for example, that were like super hardcore, like borderline screaming, staticky production, has Gene Dawson in it. So that will just give you a hint to what it sounds like. So like those kind of tracks on it, I didn't like as much. So I agree with you that I like his older style, but I like the somewhere in the middle ground songs like Zoomies, Halo, Shell, West Side, that kind of dabble in both elements and kind of walk the line of that like rock and roll and electronic and also still rapping.
Yeah, I don't think I really like the electronic. That's just kind of what turned me off.
Yeah, it's not my favorite either, but
I
think he kind of makes it work. I mean,
yeah.
So yeah, I'd recommend if you're just a music fan.
It's like JID on the one Imagine Dragons song.
I don't like that song either, and I love JID, so
think that's what it reminds me of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's about all for the new music. There's a lot. I never ended up listening to the Blade album, so no, you don't get to hear about that.
Oh, thank God.
I'll tell Riley my thoughts about the Blade album privately, since I know he loves Blade
I
so
feel
much.
like
I'll keep it off the podcast.
No, I got something to say about Drainers. Listen, I love Drainers. So
yeah, okay.
Drainers.
Say your piece.
Drainers,
we have about
Drainers
15 minutes.
But I fucking hate Blade. I can't.
Yeah.
It makes me want to gouge my ears out. I hate Blade. I don't get it. I like the dude is a cool persona. The Drainers, I love the Drainers. I get along with a lot of Drainers. Echo 2K, I don't get it. I don't fucking get the music. I don't, and that's okay. It's okay. It's just I listen. You know, I'll even sit and listen to Blade. I'll be like, okay, man, this is dog shit. It's okay though. That's fine.
You're gonna piss off a lot of people, bro.
I like Drainers, but the thing is, I just don't like the music.
When Classic Mix-Up becomes famous and they go digging for our old quotes, they're gonna get you for this.
Oh no, Riley doesn't like Blade. I don't like Blade, dude.
You want to know what's funny that I found interesting about Blade and the Drainers? Is that it's such a cult on social media. Like on my Twitter, probably every other person.
I don't even think they listen to the music. I swear.
Okay,
I don't think
that's not what I was going to say at all.
No, I get the hype. I love the Drainers. I love the community. I'm sorry, I just can't. I can't get into it.
What I find interesting is that I go on my Twitter, every other person is a Drainer. Every other person's repping Blade, Echo 2K, Young Lean, whatever. And then you look at the guy's monthly listeners, you know, he has like 700K. Like, he's not famous. Like, if you go out on the street, like, people do not fucking know who Blade is.
It's the weird. It's
a weird phenomenon because they are obsessed with him on the internet.
I know people with Drain Gang tattoos.
Yeah, it's crazy. And like you said,
I love
5 minutes ago. 5 minutes ago, you said you don't like electronic music, so it's no surprise you don't like Blade. I mean, that's just a given.
He wore a Detroit hat once.
He did. There's a picture of him
in the airport.
Isn't he with Hive Mind and he's wearing full Tigers gear?
Yeah, I think so.
Shout out Hive Mind. Shout out Detroit. We do this every week.
Shout out Hive Mind. Yeah, gotta. That's
Riley from Hive Mind's favorite rapper is Blade. Imagine that. Imagine your favorite rapper being Blade.
Like the Italian version of me, dude. Riley from Hive Mind. You ever see that?
Riley from Hive Mind's a pretty cool guy.
I like him and what's the Graydon or whatever the dude's name is. Graydon, yeah.
Yeah, they're cool.
Love those guys.
But I'm okay. So for me, it's like I'm infatuated by this Drainer culture. I feel like I'm missing out on something. I see every single person on my.
I see the Drainer culture.
I see every person on my Twitter timeline talking about how Blade is a second
NyQuil
coming.
Chicken. Oh shit. Those are the same people, you know that, right?
I feel like I'm missing something. So I always feel the need to listen to his shit when it comes out and like see what I'm missing. I haven't figured it out either, to be honest. He has some really good songs, but I haven't figured out the infatuation. But I am gonna listen to Spider, his new album, and see what I think about it. So
again, I'll say it again. I love the Drainers.
Yeah, you mentioned
Drainers. I love the passion.
Shout out Drainers.
Drainers are usually cool people. They're crazy. Love them. I don't like Blade. I don't get it. I don't fucking get it.
Fair enough. I don't really get it either. I mean, I don't like the music. I just
I'll sit in a group of Drainers. I'll sit in a group of Drainers and be like, I don't understand this.
Why? Who out of your friends are Drainers that I would know? You don't have to say their name.
Oh,
just
my
like people I know.
Friends. My girlfriend.
Oh, your girlfriend's friends are Drainers. That's hilarious. I need to meet them.
And I'll sit in a room full of I'm not.
Yeah.
It's not like 20 people. It's like 3. I'll be like,
right. Well, I mean, they can't have more than 2 friends if they're Drainers. Sorry, that was a low blow.
Hey, that's fucked up. They could be watching.
I'm sorry. Oh, they could be watching. I'm sorry if you're watching.
They could be giving us views and then be like, "Oh, Riley and Rosario are making fun of us," and they don't.
They don't even know me. I don't know your girlfriend that well.
They know me though.
Yeah, but you said you love Drainers 25 times.
I love Drainers. That's what I mean. Yeah. I love the people that are Drainers. I don't.
There's people listening to this podcast right now who don't even know what Drainer is. By the way, so if you're listening to this podcast,
Drainer is a subculture related.
It's Blade's fan base basically. It's a collective.
No, it's Drain Gang, which is
okay. Yeah. So there's a collective. It's Blade, Echo 2K. maybe
They're all
some
what,
more
European
people.
rappers? They're like
Yeah,
Swedish
they're
or something?
Swedish. Yeah. And they're called the Drain Gang, and their fans are called Drainers, and they're a cult. But anyways, go on with whatever you're saying. I don't even know what we're talking about anymore. We're at 55 minutes.
Dude. I just Drain Gang. I don't know. I get the culture. I like it. It's pretty cool. Whatever, they're crazy.
They
I
are
dig it.
crazy.
But I can't be a Drainer. I would feel
I am ashamed of myself every time I even like a Blade song because I can't be a Drainer. But he has some good songs. So Inside Out featuring Young Lean off Ice Dancer, a genuinely amazing song. I love it. Be Nice to Me off the same album. That's his most popular song because it's his most stomachable
Is it the one
song.
with Echo 2K in it?
I don't think so. I think it's just him.
The biggest one with Echo 2K is my favorite.
Not sure. But Hotel Breakfast is a good song. He has some good songs, but he's just not for me, dude.
I agree. I don't get it. Yeah.
Anyways, now that we've just been going off on tangents today, but that's okay, dude. That's cool.
Dude, that's what happens.
That's what this is gonna be. I know we're still in the early stages of Classic Mix-Up. We're kind of
Classic Mix-Up.
Classic Mix-Up is kind of figuring out its identity still, I'd say, but like,
yeah.
At the end of the day, the idea was always just be like me and Riley just talking to each other, and that's what we're gonna do.
Well, this is how we talk when we're
true
face to face, not doing
it's true, yeah.
Podcast.
Yeah, and we talked about all the new music. So I mean, is there anything else burning on your mind? I listened to a lot of stuff in the past few days. I've been busy.
Me too.
Yeah. Anything you want to highlight?
I don't know. Everything my girlfriend has just shown me in the past week.
Oh yeah, is she putting you on? That's cool.
Just rediscovering my love for Midwest
emo. Yeah,
love it. Car seat headrest, American football.
That's another. Okay, so you want to hear something about car seat headrest? Is they have the same phenomenon as Blade to me. Is I see people.
I don't get me too. I get that.
I see people who are like car seat headrest saved my life, and I'm like, must be a sad.
I wouldn't go that far. I like car seat headrest. I never I listen to.
I'm gonna keep it real. I never listened to a full album by them at all. But
hey,
I mean, they seem pretty good. I guess.
I
think I would be because I like. I'm gonna say on the record, I enjoy Weezer thoroughly, so I think I would like.
Me too. I really like Weezer a lot.
Yeah, and we're not ashamed of it either.
When I first started dating my girlfriend,
tell the podcast the story.
Okay, so when I first started dating my girlfriend, I picked her up from work one day, and I just found out that Pinkerton by Weezer had a deluxe version, which had like so many new songs, and I didn't know Pinkerton was literally my personality trait in high school.
Yeah. Let me cut in real quick. Pinkerton is probably like a top 10 album of all time for me.
All time.
I think it is for you too. So
yeah, it's great. So I was listening to it, and she and my girlfriend walks out to my car, and I don't realize she's walking out. It's a rainy day in the summertime, and she opens up the door, and I'm blasting Pinkerton, singing my ass off, looking at my phone, and she's like, "Hey, what's up?" And I change it to like something random on my phone. I'm like, "Oh, I didn't mean to do that." And
when the girlfriend catches you listening to Pinkerton by Weezer.
Oh, and I fessed up. She didn't even give a shit. She didn't even think about it. But I like fessed up. I'm like, "Oh yeah, by the way, when you open up the door, I was blasting Pinkerton." She's like, "Oh, I don't care."
And then you had a funny ass tweet about it.
Oh, I did. Yeah. No, I said.
I don't remember what it said exactly, but we saw it. We hung out that day. That might have been the day Classic Mix-Up was born.
Conceived, yeah.
It was. Yeah, we did. In the hot tub, we conceived Classic Mix-Up.
Whoa, dude.
That's how it happened.
There's other people there.
Yeah, no, there was other people. Will was there. Shout out Will. He'll be on here one day.
Yeah, he'll meander.
He'll
show up.
He's a busy guy, but
yeah, he's
yeah. As far as
what I've been, dude. Oh no, I got more stuff.
No, yeah. Oh, you got more, dude. Go ahead. Do your thing.
I'm just gonna be Christian Lee Hudson. You ever heard of him? Folk. You're up your alley.
Oh, really?
The album Beginners. Listen to the album Beginners. You will be like, this is awesome.
What's it? I'm writing it down.
Christian Lee Hudson. It's It's with the Hutson.
Okay.
Christian Lee Hudson. The album's called
Okay.
Beginners. It's folk. It's right up your alley. Listen to it in
Yeah,
bed.
that is right up my
I
alley.
listen to
I've
it in bed
actually
and I was
been
like,
back on the folk kick this week. That's what I was going to talk about.
Christian Lee Hudson works with Phoebe Bridgers. That's as far as I
That's
know.
all I needed to hear, dude.
I went on a little camping trip with my girlfriend and my mom.
Oh, that's
and,
cute.
And my mom's friend, and we got invited. So driving up there, my girlfriend's just telling me all this lore about Phoebe Bridgers and Christian Lee Hudson. And
Sounds like my kind of camping trip.
Well, yeah, I know you like Phoebe Bridgers.
I love Phoebe Bridgers.
And I don't know any of the lore. I just listen to music. Really, I don't really care. But and I'm just like, she's like, listen to this Christian Lee Hudson. You really like it. And I listened to it. I'm like, this is great. This is amazing.
I'm actually excited because I've been looking for folk music, man.
Yeah, no.
I'm on a kick.
But other than that, dude, just like one of my favorite blues artists, Patrick Sweeney's coming into Michigan, Westland. Michigan.
Yeah, I think you mentioned that to me. We were talking about that. Don't you need a fake ID for that?
Yeah, dude. I don't know how that's gonna go.
Good luck, dude.
But I listened to him a lot recently. Some Ween, you know Ween?
Yeah, I do actually believe.
Love Ween. Love me.
I haven't really listened much, but I've dabbled with it.
King Gizzard and Lizard Wizard.
Yeah, didn't they drop something? I saw about it.
Or
no, or has something coming out, or am I?
They dropped they had an album come out.
Yeah,
April.
There's it's coming out on Friday, October 7th.
Oh, okay, sweet.
Yeah, there you go. So when you're listening to this podcast, the new King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard album is out. So,
which is spooky. That's kind of spooky music, in my opinion. I love some spooky
an hour and 4 minutes. Yeah, it's perfect for October. So,
yeah.
I mentioned I've been on the folk kick.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I guess that's about it. I've been on the folk kick. I listened to more Neutral Milk Hotel music other than In the Airplane Over the Sea. They have other stuff.
That live album. I listened to it.
You listen to the whole thing? Me too.
The Jeff Magnum
Live at Jittery Joe's. Yeah, the Jeff Magnum album. Dude, it was beautiful. It was a great live performance. That's cool you listened to it. I really enjoyed it. And I thought it was really cool. So that was 1997 and Airplane Over the Sea came out in 98. So a lot of the songs there were like unfinished. They were like demos and like early versions. I thought it was super interesting. And then I listened to Ferris Wheel on Fire, which is an EP they released in 2011, but it was all recorded in the 90s. So just like some old school songs from them. A song on there called Oh Sister, which I think turned into Oh Comely, which is cool. And then Engine is also on there, which they released as a single. It was the B-side for Holland 1945. So that's kind of cool. Just some I got into some Neutral Milk Hotel lore. I had some Jeff Magnum history. And I've been really fucking with all the folk music. So I'm gonna listen to that Christian Lee Hudson.
Yeah, that's definitely a car seat headrest.
Yeah. Okay.
Teens
I'll put on the
Denial.
list.
That's a Teens of Denial.
Okay. So not Twin Fantasy.
You can listen to Twin Fantasy too. That's a good album. But I like Teens of Denial.
Yeah. Do you want to give our official
I haven't even think about albums.
Next week?
Oh, dude. Yeah. I haven't even thinking about that.
I thought about it. I have a couple options. Do you want me to give you the options or do you want me to just pick one? I think I'm just going to pick one, actually.
Just pick one.
Okay. Since we talked about our love for Billy Woods already, I'm going to say we should talk about Hiding Places next week and really get into it.
Okay, I'll listen to Hiding Places.
Yeah, I'm assuming you heard it before or not all the way through, maybe?
Dude, probably. Yeah, I listened to it one time through last month, but I can listen to it again and really pay attention.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say I am picking it because I want to listen to it again and like actually.
Okay, yeah. Let's do that then.
Yeah.
Shit, dude. Let me get an album for you. You listened to the album that last week. I think you listened to the Priestess album.
I did. I listened to Priestess and I listened to the Palace album,
Fuck,
which I enjoyed.
You listen to the Palace album.
Yeah, I did. I didn't know if you were saving that for the pod. I mean, I can
was.
listen to it again and talk about it.
No, let's do. Okay, I got a better album.
Sorry, I stole your thunder.
Patrick, no, dude, no, that album.
It's
Let's
so
plug
good.
that album. Let's plug. That
Okay,
album.
yeah. So Long Forever by Palace. Listen to it.
Such a good album. We can
fucking
talk
good.
about it next week. I mean, I would say let's. Okay, I'm gonna give you "Every Hour Is $1 Gone" by Patrick Sweeney.
Okay, blues.
It's probably a top 3, top 4 album of all time for me.
Okay,
like it's just classic blues. You might not think it's very like topical, but it's
doesn't. I mean, I'm sure it's like nothing I've heard before. So I mean, that's kind of the whole point of this is to broaden the horizon, I guess. So
yeah, dude, it's a great album. It has some great songs that I even go back and I'm like, dude, save it, this song. But for that Palace album, I think we could both listen to that again and then just talk about it because I think it's worthy.
Yeah, I'm down to talk about it.
Like a triple.
It deserves.
That album is really. I recommend it to everybody. So.
I concur, and I'm save my thoughts on it until next week, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. So we got the Billy Woods, Patrick Sweeney. It's kind of funny because each of those albums aren't like the other.
Yeah, they're very different. So I'm not exactly sure what the blues record sounds like because I've never heard it, but I'm sure it's totally different from Billy Woods. So.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, cool. Let's do it, man. I'm excited.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. So, any last words?
Yeah. I got, dude. All my music's just turning into fucking emo again. I'm like going back into.
There's nothing wrong with that, man.
No, my plays are so random right now. I just have to say, like, for people listening to music in general, like, never feel like you are closed in by your social group. Like, if you are drainer, if you're a drainer, but you love some Billie Eilish, let's say.
Listen to it.
Dude, rap Billie Eilish.
Listen to what you want.
Billie Eilish is a queen. Or if you're like Rosario and you're like, man, I'm stuck in JID rap Twitter. Be like, man, I love folk music Friday.
And
Rosario's
I
always
embrace it.
out there.
Folk Music Friday, baby.
I feel
today is Folk Music Friday. When you're hearing this, go stream some folk music. Happy Folk Music Friday.
Listen to it. Listen to that Christian Lee Hudson record.
I'm gonna 100%.
With Rosario, everybody listen to it.
So yeah, no, what I mean that's a good profound way to end it, Riley. Because I agree. Because I used to listen to just Kanye and Drake and Travis Scott, and now here I am doing a music podcast. Go expand your horizon.
People say that song sucks and you love it. Don't
tune them out.
Stop listening to that album.
You tune them out, man. Do you think any of my friends like Whole Lotta Red? One does. No. Shout out Connor. No one else does. I don't care. That's one of my favorite albums.
Well, but then you have people in your lives like you may have people like me and my girlfriend will sit in a car ride and she'll be like, oh, can I turn on, put on my playlist, whatever. I'm like, dude, you don't have to put stuff on that's cool. Like, throw on the stuff you want to listen to because
whatever you want to listen
100% of the time, I'm gonna listen to it and I will love it.
Yeah, I love getting put on by my friends.
So I'm like, with friends too. I'm like, you guys listen to anything? Or like, if I hear a song, like my roommate will play a song, and then I'm like, oh man, like he played Peach by Kevin Abstract, which is one of my favorite songs of all time. And I was like, dude, Peach is back on the rotation. Like, I'm like, so just give music a chance. Don't be afraid to show people music.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to step out of your circle. I don't really I'm a big music guy that I don't have a circle for music. I love listening to everything. My workout playlist is emo. It's metal. Like I was called my dad today and I was like, dude, I was listening to Tool, like working out. And he's like, really?
That's funny.
Like, yeah, it's the most random thing. I just got a kind of Tool kick while I was working out.
I listen to Cardi and Future when I work out, which is rare.
But
don't let your friends box you into music taste and make new friends that have different music taste and get new things and be eclectic.
Dude, because if people are into cool music and unique music, most likely they're just into music. They
Right.
like cool sounding shit. But if you give them Whole Lotta Red and they're like it's dog shit, don't be like, oh, it's the best album of all time.
Even though it might be.
It's not. It's not. But
It's up there.
it's a niche album. Anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, points made.
That was a profound way to end it, Riley. I like that.
Yeah, I have to stretch it as long as I can, you know.
Yeah,
That's
you're
how
good,
I am,
dude.
but-
Well, this episode was all over the place, but thanks for listening.
Yeah, thanks everybody.
If you made it this far, yeah, thanks for
Yeah.
support, man. Our first 2 episodes got an overwhelming amount of support, and I'm happy about that, dude.
Yeah, we'll keep doing it. I love talking about music, and
Yeah, we love doing this, so we're gonna do it as long as
I
we
listen
can.
to an
so.
overwhelmingly amount of music, and I need to.
Yeah, I
talk
think we
about
both
it.
do. I think we both do, which is why we're doing
Yeah.
this. So yeah. Thanks for listening. You can follow the podcast at Classic Mix Up Pod on Instagram and Twitter. You can follow me and Riley. I'm going to actually link our stuff in the description of whatever website you're using to listen to this. We're on Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, wherever you get your podcasts. Look in the description. You can follow us. You can listen to the music we talked about. And yeah, anything else you want to say?
Everybody just stay free and peaceful and love music
dude.
and love one another.
Peace and love, dude.
Peace and love.
Yeah, have a good week. See you guys next week.
See you, everybody.